All right, all right, all right. I hope you all can see me well. It's me, Dr. Chef Felicia, and I am tuning in you all a different time because I needed to. I had a really, really, really long week, not weekend. I see someone is tuning in already. It's good to see you all back. I decided to do a different type of scenery today from out of my office. And so I'm just glad to be back, you all. Thank you all so much again for your prayers and your love. The condolence of my sister, my uncle, passing of my uncle Roy, and for the prayers that went out for my family. Hey there, how you doing, Sister Sybil? King Jesus told us to tell you, King Jesus loves you. Amen, amen. All right. Can't get enough of that. I appreciate you all for the positive feedback. I really do. I'm going to try and aim for the 8 a.m. for now. For now on, I am flicking around with the time zone. Thank you so much for those who all that's tuning in due to the fact that I once again had to take a break, which wasn't a break at all, y'all. I can promise you that it was not a break. This is one of the reasons why I've had set up to not do it in the kitchen this time around because I just needed to just simmer down. This is the time of month where my spirit shifts. Um, and thank you. Hey there, cute fun saving. Hello. How are you, darling? I got to make sure I get, yeah, I can still wear that, wear what I had gotten. I appreciate you all so much. And so I wanted to start off this Wellness Wednesday with a prayer because it's just been so much going on, y'all. Even though the weather is beautiful out, it's nice and hot here in St. Louis and Illinois. I include Illinois because it's just basically just 30 minutes away. It maybe about 25 minutes away from us across the bridge. And so that is where I was going in between, in and out of this week to help with family. Hey, sister. Hey there, Sister Robinson. How you doing? So I was giving just a few time enough to come in. Hey, Sister Thomas. Good to see you all. Shalom. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a great one. My goodness, the Seed family. Yes, I had gotten to a place. Sister Green, how are you? I got into a place where the saying that they say, if you want to see change in the world, you be the change that you want to see in the world. And so I've been watching it and I've seen it posted in different places. And I do like good sayings like that because that is something that's doable, y'all. And so I'm at a place now to I where I say, okay, what can I change again? Since this is such a word that's so seen as a negative thing sometimes, and I really don't like that. I know y'all don't either, because if nothing else, change is inevitable. I mean, the day, y'all, think about it. I like thinking about simple things, not complicated things, or just how confusing a lot has been made on purpose. Um, so I like to simplify so that you can all get an inner standing, not just a under. Understanding from the Most High, for God, but an inner standing when we are communicating with each other is always my goal. Is that you understand in your mind what's being said, especially when you hear a lot of different people saying it. But we all have our different ways of going about it, and so I had a thought, okay, what can I change seeing that so many loved ones, so many family members say, hey, brother Rashad, it's good to see you all. Um, what can I change about how I think about when a loved one is passing? And clearly, you all, it's going to become a book. I do plan, if God's will allow me to write a few books within the next couple of years. And I'm just so thankful for my circle that I do have. They all saying it's going to be a bestseller. It's going to be a bestseller. I'm like, well, I'm glad y'all got the confidence in me because you all can just imagine how much goes on in my mind. Can you imagine me trying to put that into a book? Let's just keep it 1,000. And I was like, if I could just get past that part, one thing, how can I put all this in a book? And then the first thing that came to mind was, okay, I'm going to have different editions. Because it's so much, y'all, so much knowledge, so much information I have acquired in this 48 years of life that I'm thankful for in a lot of ways. Some of it, I'm be honest, y'all, because I don't know what else to be. Um, I'm thinking, oh, some of it I wish I didn't have to know. Um, because we live in a time when you think about it, in order for us to feel well, a lot of us don't want to know the negative things. We don't want to know the not so good things, the things that doesn't make us feel good mentally. And a lot of times that turns into stress and it turns into depression and anxiety. And so I get it. I really do get it. Why a lot of things that take place in the world and the things that we as the people do causes us to not want to know sometimes. The only problem with not wanting to know is that there's the writing, there is the scripture that says that his people are destroyed for the lack of. I got an issue with that. That if all it takes is to know better, that means you can do better. Automatically means that you're thinking better. And that means that you'll end up being better than what you were before. And so I can't get around that part. And that's the reason why I share what I share with you all, is because of the fact that I do understand that it's important to share the information, the knowledge that we have while we have the chance to do it, because it's clear that we won't be able to share some of this information for long as the time go by, because so much is censorship. And so I do take much thought into what should be said, what's valid, what's invalid, what's necessary, and what's not necessary. And so a lot of times, if you all don't hear me elaborate on certain information, just believe, just do your best to believe and know that whatever spirit that you pick up on me, a thought, an energy, just understand that I see it as for our people's good. And if there's anything else, just like I appreciate the sisters, different ones that reached out and say, Dr. Show, what was that you was saying last week when you was whispering? Because we couldn't read your lips. I don't know how you couldn't read these full lips, but nevertheless. And then, it was like, what was it? And so, and I told different ones. And I was like, okay, because there's just certain things that we can't. Um, I did inherit it, the name, or the name, the Harriet Tubman of Health and Wellness, for a reason. Because I like for us to, I just like for us to know. Because I understand that knowing is half the battle, but what you do with the knowledge that you have can help you to win the battle. Whatever your battle is within your life, within your situation that you have. And I can't get that out of my head, you all. It's got me to this place to where even though I may have to shift real soon, sooner than what I desire, because stability is good. However, we have to think about the we all have to give an account to the decision and choices that we make, and with whom we make it with, to make sure. And so that means there's never a 100% guarantee that things will go the way you intend for them to go if you're not the only one that's making the decisions. And we know that just through jobs, alone, a company can choose to close down, and it's nothing that you can do about it. No matter how much you tell them you can do overtime, no matter how much you can say, I apologize if you are management and you said I need to hire more people. No matter how much, there's just certain things that goes on in the realm of being a leader and in a headship position, that whatever you do, it affects everybody that's working with you. I use and I choose my words working with versus underneath, because a lot of times that is the problem that I found with being the oldest child and always being chosen to be the leader of something. I realized that it's something that pride that a lot of us have doesn't really help those who are looking up to us when we take on certain positions that we label as higher than, when in actuality, it's just more responsibility. So, no, the only thing that's higher is your thought of yourself and what we allow others, the pedestal that we allow others to place us on because it makes us feel good. Well, I'm one that you all gonna learn is that it don't matter how many pedestals that people have attempted or tried to place me on in my life. I've always asked God to give me humility. And even though I have been misjudged, like some of you all probably have too, that just because I know how to put my clothes on nicely or because I like nice things, don't have a clue of how much I pay for my nice things. You guys can see my setup back here. And now this I do brag upon. You see my setup behind there. It looks nice, don't it? And then I like to mess people up real good mentally. Like, now how much you think I paid for my setup? To bring it back down. It can be like, and look, my setup behind me cost me no more than $60. My whole attire that I have on cost me no more than $10. Because I state that a lot of people say, well, that Chef, you don't have to share that. We don't want nobody to know. And of course, my home costs far more, but it wasn't paid for in its entirety, and it was a lot. But that was tinging on the amount of work and the amount of income that you can get in. It's not the same as the image that people will get right then and there of who you are. We, as the people, especially melanated people, have, unfortunately, because a lot of us don't come from wealth, we automatically seem to desire it more than the other culture of people because of us not having it a lot in most of our families. And I understand how important it is to think us to, when you're an image to someone, that you can explain to them that you can have some of that, but you don't have to go broke to do it. You just have to have a little bit of patience, because it's just things. They come and they go. But your life, your health, your family, your spiritual, those things are priceless. And so why should we pay more for things than we should for our life and our mental health and our spiritual health? Y'all know where I'm going with it. I always go there because it's so important, because we see more images of nice things and clothes and cars and houses and suits and who got money. We living in an age where that's supposed to be the theme of who of that makes it look like a person, as we say, got it going on. And I have to ask the question sometimes, what does got it going on mean? What you got going on? Just because you have acquired some things. What you got going on just because you got good taste? You don't have anything that's going to go on continuously but your life that you live and your legacy that you leave. That's the only thing that goes on. Because I'm saying it again, because the things, they come and they go. They can be caught up in the fire. I know I've been in a house fire before. They can be all my baby pictures. You all don't see me post baby pictures because when I was a baby, my grandmother's house got caught on fire, and a lot of it, my baby pictures, most of them was gone. Now the other family members won't release my baby pictures. But ironically, I have a baby picture of my mother. So it goes to show you how life goes, and you never know what people have gone through. And so I learned early on to like things, but not to ever love them. Because having a desire for things that can so easily be taken away can mess with the mind. and will have you not focusing on the things that's most internally important. Think about it. Somebody created the picture. Somebody created those chairs behind it. Somebody wrote that. A body did that. A hand did that. And a mind that was able to think of creativity did it. I'm speaking to you and you all are listening because you all have a mind that can comprehend what I'm saying. And for you all that know anyone that is that would like to have this encouragement from Wellness Wednesday, because it's going to be a combination of a little bit of motivation, which since I wasn't able to tune in for Motivational Monday, I was doing my best, but I had so much to clean up after the family left on Sunday. So I had to be a bit wise, you all, and had to take to today and make that happen. And so I wanted to come for you, and now that a few more in, I'm going to say a short prayer. It's going to be simple, and we're going to continue on with the program. All right, Father God, we thank you so much for blessing us to come before your people one more time. We thank you for this Wellness Wednesday. We thank you for the opportunity to be used as a servant unto your people. We thank you for keeping all of us over the weekend. For those that had were looking to tune in and wasn't able to find me, or others that inspire them to do better, to live better, and to want to be more healthier, we thank you for allowing them to tune back in today. And we ask that you continue to bless our going out, our coming in, and help us all to be able to share and learn something that help to be able to press us forward to get to the next day in a positive way, not in a negative way. In the name of Jesus, Yahshua HaMashiach, we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. So if there's any questions that you all have for me during this time, because I'm sitting, I do see where back to if I'm sitting, I'm able to focus a little more and visually see the questions better this time, since I got a good setup, you all. And no, I didn't set up my Instagram people yet or my Facebook people yet, because I just wanted to get to the field, because this is something for me too, not to be able to sit down. I mean, because this when you have energy, as I say, like my god brother, my big bro Arthur, when you have energy, it's good to, they say, be calm sometimes and just sit down and have time to meditate. And so I would like to know how you all's weekend was, or your week was, if you guys took care. And my condolences to anyone else that may tune in later or that's tuning in now, if you lost loved ones, or if anything that's taken place that has caused you any mental distress. I just pray that God bless you all's heart and your soul and your spirit, not to see it. It's just all negative. I have lived a life to where I understand that some things that's seen as negative in my life, sometimes it really truly can work out for your good. Because if you're a loyal person, if you're a person that doesn't, that's not too impulsive, meaning that you don't shift every time something goes wrong, then a lot of times I've learned in my life, I don't know about you all, but in my life, a lot of times I've learned that I have to be pushed and nudged in order to be able to move out of a place that I'm loyal and dedicated to. And that's just the way my life is going. I don't know about you all, but if that is your case, then I'm starting to understand through speaking to different ones and through counseling and things of that nature, that when a person is that way, usually we're that way about everything in life. Meaning that you have to get that extra push or that extra nudge in order to even get you to the next level and the next stage in life. And so that will automatically apply to your health and wellness. And when I say health, I mean whatever your current health is, and then whatever level of wellness that you want to get to. So if today you woke up, you felt super drowsy and you didn't work all night long, because it's natural to feel tired when you worked all day long. But what's unnatural is that if you did go to bed at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and here it is, you woke up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, you still feeling drained, then that means there is some poor circulation that's going on in your body. And at that point, that means that your antioxidant level needs to be, you need to incorporate more antioxidants. You still need, you all, in the summertime. Now I'm going to our health spiel. You still need, in the summertime, you still need your vitamin C. Yes, because the body does not produce vitamin C that we know of. And what you all would learn about me is that a lot of times when I say that we know of, it is because I understand that we are still lacking in a lot of information, and certain things, even though we're in the informational stage, will start to be revealed as time go by. So when I say that we know of, that's what I mean. I don't care how many stats they put out there. I don't care about the whole censorship thing. I mean, I care about it, but I understand that to every state, every city, every country, and every municipality, every town, they do not do a survey on everybody. Now, what I do understand is that if you have all of these electronic devices, and that they do have a way of finding out things, but some people don't communicate as much as I do. Some of you all may not communicate as much as I do. And so still, it's a limited amount of information, and then the percentage will always be questionable. And so that's the reason why you all hear me say that I go by what I experience with my people. And when I say my people, I mean my people that want to have an open, conscious mind to elevate, to grow as a person, as an individual, and that have the desire to take and share that with their community where they are welcome to. Because some things I do understand, some of us are not part of a community, and that's the reason why we find each other's on the internet. That's the reason why we go out looking and searching for what we call, quote unquote, our tribe, our great minds or our good minds that think alike, because we're not finding it in our circle, or we're not finding it in our community. And so in that sense, that's a good thing, as long as we have the opportunity to connect in this way. But I'm going to say it to say that understand this. You still have to do it for self, even if you don't find it, because I hear that a lot. I don't have nobody. My family's not on board. I get it, you all. My family wasn't on board either. And some of them still aren't. They're listening to me more now because they see that it's pandemics and things of that nature that's taking place. They've seen now that they no longer can stick their head in the sand and ignore certain things. And so I understand that even on my end, that when we have a lot of loved ones that lose, what happened is it will ignite or encourage people ones to say, okay, but let me try that food that you have, because they're still eating their processed food. They're still eating the MSG food. So when we lose a loved one in my circle, then what happens is that they'll start getting a little bit more intrigued, because they realize that, okay, cousin, niece, auntie, sister, step up in here with all this energy. And she stepped up in here and still with a smile on her face, tears down her eyes, but still with a smile on her face. Something about our cousin, something about our niece, something about her must be true, because we can't catch her in a very, very down time or processing things the way we process it while we're eating our processed food. And that matters. And it's not just the food, it's most definitely to the spirit of our creator, the spirit of God. I will say that for sure, because with the different changes that I've gone through, and you all already know the testimony, my different changes that I've gone through, I do know I've counseled it. I do know that most people would not be able to make it through what I have encountered and what I've gone through. And even currently now, I get it. But I'm telling you all the keys. The key to making it through any hardship or any down. I mean, I just shared this with my beloved, and I just shared. That's a look. I don't care about being in a big home. I care that I don't care about now. I'm at a place to where, because I see what's all going on, and I've always been in that place. If it's about me surviving to be able to help other people, then what I would, if I have to get me an extended cab truck, y'all, I hear it now, and some of y'all gonna laugh. If I gotta get me an extended cab truck with an RV on the back, and have on there Dr. Chef, and roll around and come to everybody's town, then I will do that, and I still step out there with my tennis shoes and my high heels on, with my head wrapped and covered, and just to be just as happy-go-lucky and be helping people along my way. Look, if I have to do that, I'll do that. Because when something is in you and it's in your spirit, I mean, you can't stop that where you are. Your environment does not change what's in you as much as we like to give it credit for. What changes you is what's going on in your mind. You all gonna always hear me say this. I'm not gonna never get off of it. So anytime you're having mind battles and you're constantly having other people in your ear trying to tell you that no, it's just the environment. No, it's not. If that be the case, how can you explain? And no, it's not a high percentage, but still, the percentage in this matter matters. That people that go to prison come right out and start working because in their minds, they was like, you got my body, but you can't have my mind. They studied books, they got educated, they did it. They came right out and made something out of themselves. And I'm gonna tell you what, if you read a lot of their books like I have, or you met some of them, then you'll find out the first thing they say is that I couldn't let them take my mind. You heard Malcolm X say that when they came out. How is it that we can use all these great inspirational stories where people have gone through death and fires, prison, and all these different heinous things, and then we get inspired by it, and we, whoa, yeah. And then when it comes down to applying it to our own life, and all of a sudden, like, yeah, it was because of my environment. No. It is true that if you get in a better environment, yes, it can make you feel better. But it's not so much true that it's going to change the core of who you are. Y'all know the old saying, do I got enough of my melanated people in here that they say you can take the ghetto. You can take the Negro out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the Negro. But y'all know what a lot of people say. And it's true. If I didn't know what it meant to use a coaster before I went somewhere else, I'm not going to know how to use a coaster when I go somewhere else. Mine. If I didn't know a certain business endeavors or certain business information while I'm here at home, if I go out of town, it don't mean that I'm going to learn a different business opportunities when I go there if I don't go and apply my mind to go find out. So it's still, I don't care what you all say, it's still in the mind. It's what you think that predicts how well and how healthy you will be. If you say, I want to be healthy today, remember you had to think that, or you heard it and you repeated it to yourself. And you said, I want to be healthier than what I was this past weekend. I fell off. I want to get on track. And you constantly say that, and then you write that down. Stop just typing on this computer, y'all. It doesn't give back the same vibration. Stop making notes in your computer and just in your phone. Yes, you can do it as a pop-up and as a reminder visually, but write it down. Start back writing. I don't care how chicken scratch some of y'all may write. I don't understand my right. Write it down. There's an energy, a pulse inside of the fingers that penetrates from all the way from the hand all the way up into your brain, and then the visual effect of it. Did I explain that good enough? Y'all let me know if I'm explaining it good enough. There's a visual effect that takes place after you're putting that penmanship, after you're writing it down and making it plain, that helps you to manifest that you want and that you desire to have. So if every time, this even goes for something negative, think about it, you all. I'm leaving. If every time you look up, you're writing what you want to do. I'm leaving. I'm going. Eventually, when you constantly tell yourself something, you're going to do it, because that's the power of the mind. Now I have another saying, and it is going to be a book. My Uncle Pumpkin, shout outs to him. His real name, call him Pumpkin. His real name is Bernard. So preferably he get a chance to see this and get a chance to tune in. If not, he'll probably tune in later and say something. But my we were talking before he left on Sunday. He was breaking his neck trying to get back to their worship. He said, we don't have church, we have worship. I'm like, okay. And so him and my auntie Tracy, they were in and they were enjoying themselves, and I had a good sit down and a good word, and I appreciated them. So, and it's like, whatever you do, niece, we got you. They from Chicago, and it was like, we sell your new brand, your new products, which that's coming up. So stay tuned, you all. I got something to share with you. And so I'm sitting up here and I'm like, okay, what's really good? They was like, whatever you got, we will promote it. We'll share it with the churches. We'll do whatever we got to do because we believe in what you do. I'm saying all that to say that led us to the conversation where when we was talking, I stated to him, I said, we have to remember that the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And then I said, another thought came to mind. It's not just a terrible thing to waste. It's a terrible thing to put waste in. Because that's the only way something goes to waste. Is if you're putting negative thoughts. I don't care what you see on TV. Cut it off. I can't tell you when the last time I got 2 nice screen TVs. I can't tell you the last time I just sat down and watched a movie. And this is before the funeral process. I just didn't have time because when your mind is focused on that, and if I do, the first thing I'm thinking is, where's the next good? As I said, good documentary. That's what I want to watch. Or if it's not an inspiring, a very inspirational movie, I don't want to see it. It's got to be one that's giving me pushes, something that's giving me a drive to do better, to do more. That is what helps us to be well in our minds and in our souls. Is when you're being inspired and when you are being encouraged to do well, to be well. We have a lot of people now coming out with, okay, Wellness Wednesday, and they give you one thing, and that's okay. That may be their thing. They give you 1 or 2 things, or they put it all on you, instead of actually truly teaching people on how to think well. And yes, it is something that I will be doing a lot more of motivational speaking and things of that nature. No, I'm not going, hey there, Sister Candy. No, I will not be taking classes and things of that nature. Not going to critique what's in my spirit. I may listen to those that's a little bit more wiser than me in this area, but I understand that I got a slew of people now, a group of people, and I don't even count, that it was giving up on themselves, their life, whether or not they could get married, whether or not they could finish college, whether or not they could go forth in their business, whether or not, whatever positive thing they felt like they wanted to do, to say that, you know what, after talking to you, I never thought about certain things in a certain kind of way, but now I feel motivated, I feel inspired to do it, and they accomplish it. And I don't take credit for doing it because my mother was the same way. My grandmother was the same way. They were very positive minded, very supportive people. And so I feel very fortunate not to be left a lot of money, but to be left that wisdom and that positive mindset that they had given me, even in the midst of their own stress, even in the midst of the things that they desired to be well in. Even though they weren't healthy, y'all, they was eating processed food too. But that's what taught me the power of the mind. The more and more I thought about it, I was like, now how is it that my grandmama and my mama and mom is so unhealthy, but yet they're so inspiring, and they're so, y'all, I had to lean back in my seat for that one. How is it? We're talking all this about fruits and vegetables and vitamins and all this, and let's go take yoga classes. And I said, how is it that these women, and even some of the men in my life, was so inspiring, but yet they're unhealthy. They're eating everything. I'm say, hey, Brother Robert. I said, how is it? And I may see you by the end of June, brother. I plan on being in town. I have a convention that, if God say the same, God's willing, allow me to, after I leave my first, I'll be keynote speaker in Columbia, Tennessee, which I have to put that up on what you call and share. I'm gonna share that on YouTube and on Facebook.
either sometime today or tomorrow. I do have, I will be a keynote speaker at my first health fair, you all. Not the first health fair that I've helped with, but this will be my first time doing that. I'm being a keynote speaker out of town. Um, and yeah, I've shied away from it for so long, but this is this couple was not taking no for an answer. and they had taken away all my excuses. Because it's one thing to talk to you guys in front of to get comfortable enough to talk to you all here, but it's a whole nother thing to Chicago. Yes, I'll be coming. The plan is to come to Chicago July the 30th. I'm sorry, not the end of this month, but next month, July the 30th, the 29th. July the 29th will be my keynote speaking engagement there in Columbia, Tennessee, which is close to Nashville, Tennessee, in Greenville, Tennessee. So those of y'all who want to come out, God say the same. I have a trail of chefs and other business partners that will be coming with me. It's going to be so nice, y'all. They're going to have bounce house. Of course, they say Mary will be out. There's going to be a lot. And the reason why that's such a big deal, and I'm going to get back on what I was saying, is because that is where I was at when I got the phone call at 3 a.m. in the morning that my mother had transitioned. And that's also the town that she was born in as a little girl before her father passed. It also is the town that would not treat my grandfather, Lindbergh Hill, when he was suffering an aneurysm from being overheated in his body. Young man, only in his 20s, and at that time they didn't treat my grandfather. And so you can only imagine, I've shared it once before. And so you can imagine, think about it. Then I was not thought of. My mother was only 6 years old, going on 7 years old. And she was a daddy's girl. And all I hear is all these stories about how good of a man my grandfather was and how well he provided and took care of the family and how hardworking he was. And to know that at that age and stage in that town and have to hear that story from probably from the day I was born, done something to my heart because I would have been his firstborn granddaughter and I didn't get a chance to even meet my grandfather. And so all my life, and I try not to get choked up about it, all my life, I have been thinking about Tennessee. I said, what can I do? Now, my grandmother sued the hospital, one of the first Black women to sue the hospital, and she won. And yes, she did go to show the kind of woman she was. She remarried with 6 children and one in the oven as a widow. She remarried and moved about from there. And so my parents, my mother and her siblings immediately became military children. And so I still would hear the stories about my grandfather and how good of a man he was and the family that he came from and how family oriented they were there. And to think of these years later, I finally get a chance to go back, y'all, and to speak on health and wellness. It makes you to see that what Satan meant for evil, God can always turn around for your good. So I don't know how I'm going to do, you all. You all see that I'm able to communicate, but it does get me choked up to know that if he allowed this time to come, that I'll be able to go back to the town that I had to get the call stating that my mother had transitioned and where she was born. And then that took away my grandfather, that shifted my whole mother side of the family's life. That's something, that's a big deal. And sometimes I wonder, and I know maybe you all do too. Yeah, that is powerful, Sister Candy. Sometimes I wonder if some of the choices that we think are poor choices or bad choices and decisions that just maybe we're led to make them just to get to your destination. I think that is the case for some of us. And so that's why I say it's not important to always focus on what your plans were when it's clear that it's another plan that's orchestrated in life. Because as you imagine, hearing that as a little girl growing up, I never thought that I will be speaking. As a matter of fact, I shared with some of you all. I used to stutter because I saw some traumatized things, and I experienced some traumatizing things. And I never thought that I would be speaking anywhere. But it's something how God used different people in your life to get certain things out of you, and gifts or natural things that were already there, to get you to a place to where you're able to move forward into that place. And that's the reason why I do believe that he's given me, through those different tests and family history, he's allowed me to give back to you all. So that's nothing to really, get prideful about. My family went through turmoil for that. We went through quite a bit. That was on my mind almost probably every waking day of my life. Every Father's Day that was on my mind. I used to have to watch my mother sit in a corner on Father's Day. And even though she had a stepfather that loved her dearly, I used to watch her. And she would go into the little corner, and she, very strong woman. But I could hear her silence, and I would come out the room. This happened all the way up until I had married out of the home and graduated from college. I would see her go, and she would hold her hand, and she would just rock. And I would say, Mama, what's the matter? And she would say, I miss my daddy. She said, I miss my daddy. And even then, I was thinking, I wonder, can we just go back and meet some of these people? Yeah, I was thinking it then. By the time I hit teenage age, I was thinking then, when we go back and talk to these marrieds, find out what they've done with these hospitals, if they're treating our people better now. See, to know that they sued and weren't good enough for me. I was thinking, what is it that we can do? Is this happening to other people there? So what y'all think I'm going to do when I get there? I guess only God knows. We shall see. So I'm thankful. And I think he knew I had to get to a place to where I lost something in order to feel inspired to do the work, in order not to get too choked up and too shy about it, to where I would have to be able to still inspire the people there in Tennessee, because this is going to be part of my testimony. And so that's why we should be careful. Don't ever get so distraught in your walk and in your journey of life that just because you're seeing blows that's taking place in your family and in your personal life, that you think that it's over with, that it's done with. And trust me, it's not. Some of y'all can see that now. It's not. What Satan, they used to have a saying when I was growing up, what Satan meant for evil, God can turn it around for your good. Praying for you, Doc says, you got this. Thank you, sis. I need it. And so I'm at a place now where I'm thinking, whew, this is why it's hard to just sit back and just throw y'all out regiments, because I know that's not always about just the regiment. I understand that we get off sometimes. Some of us get off. Most of us is going to get off. So don't ever think for 1 second, don't let anybody lie to you and make you think that I don't understand that. No, what I understand is that if at first you don't succeed, you most definitely got to dust yourself out. And I said, you don't just try it again, you do it again. Just do it. Just do it. Because we make excuses with try leaves too much of a room or a space for you to fail. Well, I tried it. Think about it, y'all. Well, I tried it. I can get the try is attached to I'm not gonna get it. But when you say I'm gonna do it, something about that do. It's do is attached to it. Let's add it. I never thought about it like this before. Let's add N-E to it. Done. Do. Done. I done it again. You can say, I'm going to do it again. Not try it again. I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it again. That's the mentality, you all, that we have to have about your health and wellness. Well, I couldn't walk 15 minutes yesterday, but I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to do it again until I get to the 15 minutes, until I get to the 30 minutes, until I get to the hour. Well, I could not do too many push-ups. Well, I can only do one. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. Well, I fell off and I didn't eat my strawberries today, or I didn't get my melons in today, but tomorrow I'm going to do it again. What are you doing again? You're thinking about it again until you do it again. Not I'm going to try it again. Because I've learned that our mentality of try is just enough to get by. And that's not good enough, you all. And so I'm at a place now to where, thank you, brother. So I'm at a place now where I'm at the mindset that because I may have to shift again a little sooner than possible, that you just gave me more strength. You just gave me more motivation to keep going. More motivation to keep moving, to keep doing. This is the reason why we have to be healthy, you all, because you can't be healthy allowing yourself to be demobilized. Okay, I had a sister now. She's very persistent. She was sent over by the minister of wellness. She was sent over by him, and she's very persistent. I'm like, I'm gonna get to you, sis. I'm gonna get to you, but she just, I don't know what she heard saying. Just keep trying, keep trying. And I understand. Look, it's like somebody knocking at the door that will not stop knocking. And even though I given her the same layout, your 2 days, your 2 what you're doing, that she own it. She can you do it now? Can you do it now? Can you do it now? I'm like, oh, wait a minute, sister. I can't skip over everybody else is in line. But at some point, can you imagine? She knows my heart. She gonna wind up knocking and knocking and knocking until she gets her a yes. And y'all, and that's exactly how we are supposed to be with our health and wellness. Some may say, well, she crazy. Well, her crazy done transferred over until she crazy enough to want to be able to make sure that she get the information that she needs in order for her to be well. So, of course, when I get off the segment, I'm going to give her a call just to calm and ease her nerve. But let her know this is the order and how this needs to be done. And give her a good old prayer to let her know that you're going to make it through the next day. It's what we call anxiety. And the more you do it, the more it's going to cause your condition to worsen. Because it's no difference. It's just exactly like what I said. No, I'm not going to let you sit back there and just lean and die. My loved ones transition, with the exception of my daughter. They transition because they had it set in their minds. They had a different type of lifestyle. They had a different kind of mentality. They said they wanted to do it this way, but they say they lacked, listen, they lacked the will. They lacked the determination to stay on track. I have a sibling now. I believe in everything you do, sis. I believe in everything. I know what you're saying is working. I know what you tell me to do. I know what you tell me to get rid of. I know. But it is hard. I said, and I tell her every time, and it's been for 30 years now, I've told her every time, just as much as you're going to stay persistent about telling me that it is hard, I said, I'm going to stay just as persistent until it's your time to transition and telling you that you still got to do it. If you want to stand a better chance of living and having a more healthy life, that you still have to just do it. I hear the chemicals talking. I hear the drugs talking. I hear all of the naysayers talking. But what's in my mind, what's locked in my mind, is that my job My position is to tell you that you can do it. As many times as you tell, I have to figure out a way each time you contact me to counteract that's killing your mind. That you have allowed that waste, that toxic waste to be placed in your mind. And I've learned that if you don't want to, especially as a caregiver and doing this work and knowing it from so many different positions and angles, is that we have to be careful. Those of you all that's tuning in that's still healthy, you have to be careful, because what we fall in the line of is when we have loved ones and even mates that fall off and then are truly toxic, is that you can't be the enabler. I don't care what you say, that's not love. Now, you're not supposed to dog them out anytime you get a chance to either, but I'm saying you're not supposed to be the enabler. Because the first thing that's going to come to mind, I'm going to tell you what comes to mind. The first thing that's going to come to mind, and I know it by now because enough loved ones have transitioned for me to think about, okay, what did I do to help? What could I have done to help? I'll have the guilty conscience on my mind that I fed or I participated in unhealthy habits with them. That's a piece that surpasses all of your understanding. You don't want to be the one that's the enabler. It's best to let that person go. Before you sit back and settle for watching your loved ones is wither away, if you can, if you're in a position where you can, don't allow that heaviness, don't allow that stress to be placed on your mind that you're the enabler. And I understand a lot of us are in different situations to where maybe that person is the financial holder, maybe hey, and maybe you're not where I am mentally. I don't care if you holding all of my money. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I went through it. I don't care if you just hold my money. My bottom line is still gonna be, you cannot be unhealthy with me. My bottom line is going to be, then take the money. My bottom line is that, yeah, it's mine, but God got something better. Do what you got to do. But I'm not going to sit here and have you underneath my watch or beside me or because I'm not being a helpmeet that way. Absolutely not. It's not worth it. Not when you know better. When you know better, you got to do better. Did you hear me? When you know better, you gotta do better. It's not an option. It's not. So somebody said, well then, okay, well, if you have that, hey there, Sister Lori, if you have that mentality, Dr. Shelton, then that's gonna lower your chances of, if we all take that that mentality, then we gonna miss out on our hustles. We gonna miss out on this one. You missing out now. You're still missing out. What you missing? Toxicity? Mess? You missing more work? What you missing? You missing bad leadership? You missing stressful times? More headaches? You missing being unequally yoked? What you missing? It's okay for us all to have these emotional feelings, but these emotions cannot overrun us to the point to where we sit here and miss the big picture, you all. What's most important, and the only reason why we're doing this is to be well. Let's not forget the big picture is the bottom line is to be well. And so whatever it takes for that person to be well, and it's a journey. We all know you got to learn. Let me put that out there. We know it's a journey. We have to learn it one way or the other. But to automatically to be well, we have to get to a place to where we figure out what helps us to be well. And sometimes, whether it be your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, or your mate, it can turn out to be the opposite of what you have in mind for what helps them to be well. What helps them to be. Some people have to go off. Most of us can't afford to do that. Then some of us got to seclude ourselves for a little while. Some of us have to get a whole new circle of friends. Whatever it takes. There's a scripture that says, save yourself from this untoward generation. It said, I said, that's the only one up in there that give us permission to be selfish. Now, do we have the right to do that when we take on responsibilities of family? Nope. There's consequences that's going to come with that. And I don't see how you can be mentally well if you take on the obligation of family and you don't do right by them, and knowing that they are relying on you in any shape, form, or fashion. No, you're going to suffer the consequences for that. There's no way around that once you make those type of big commitments. And so the best thing to do is to find other ways, whether it's going to the park, whether it's going signing up for a gym, that something else. Something else. There's other ways around. There's multiples. God has given us multiples, y'all. Multiple ways around it. A lot of times we are drawn away of our own lust and enticement and our own zeal. Especially for those of us that's ambitious. Especially for those of us who wants to see the world. Especially for those of us who wants the world to see us in a certain type of way or a different type of light. And that is the danger of the social media. It puts the brain into a mind of fantasy. Things is just not realistic. And you don't find that out until you have to go and you see for yourself that why are you trying to live the high life? Why are you trying to appease everybody else? That the main important thing in life is always going to be your friends and family. Ain't no way around it. If you have a decent one, if you have a good one, that's what's going to be the most important thing. They're the ones that's going to have to make decisions when you transition or when you're on your deathbed. They're the ones that's going to have to, unless you do what is not good to do. And so I've learned that even in the midst of this journey, that because of those of us who are close knitted and that have family and have friends and have careers, that because a lot of it is social, that this is what makes it a lot more challenging for our people to think out the box and be healthy. The mind has to be made up that if someone is talking to you and that's discouraging you every time they see you pull up a bowl of fruit, or just because they see you pop some good high potent, notice I said good high potent vitamins in your mouth, that you doing all that, or because they see that you're taking out the time and schedule to go and work out or do something that's healthy for you. If they got something to say, I encourage you to dismiss that person out of your life if you can. I said if you can. Because that right there alone is the first sign that a person is not meant. The person is not for you being well. And if they say they feel like they don't think it take all that, that means too they're trying to think for you too. And that's not good. And that's not healthy. It's best that when you get around that person, if you cannot avoid them, it's best now to start carrying earplugs or something around here, not for a long period of time because it's not good for mental health. But I mean, just something that's to clog the ears. Oh, what's that? I didn't hear you. Yeah, you gotta do it. No, yes, you did. You had them earplugs on you on purpose. Okay, well, if you wasn't talking a lot of negativity and nonsense, I wouldn't have to have them in. See how that works? I refuse to live a life to where I'm around a lot of negative talk. I refuse to. I don't care what it is. I shared with you all beforehand. I had people proposition me to work with millionaires and a billionaire. But the negativity that comes out of their mouth about our people, the let's just get that money mentality was getting on my reserved nerve. Yes, it was, y'all. And I'm like, I understand. Hey there, Sister Sanders. I realized that I just could not take it. I said, it is not worth it to work with someone that have a lot of other agendas for money and clout and fame when all they do is bring your spirit down for the most part. It's not worth it. This is what I'm talking about when I say protect the mind. Protect the mind. You got to. Because it's not, look, you have to have a mentality that, hey, if I got to live out my car, look, hey, if I gotta go, if I gotta, just as long as it's somewhere else positive, then that's the mentality that you should have in order to survive in this toxic world today, because you need to be healthy enough, mentally enough, spiritually enough to be able to see what's coming up ahead, to be able to see what's right in front of you without being deceived and somebody doing flashing lights at you. When you flash them lights, you think about it. When some of y'all drive, you notice people that have on the high beam lights, they forget to cut off the high beam lights, and then you get temporarily blindsided, or it seems like you got vertigo and you got to readjust your sight. That's the world. That's the time that we're living in now, that because there's so much distractions from just the simple things in life that we have. So much distraction that we get thrown off which direction we're going. And so that's how it is in life. Oh, they bring a chicken. Oh, they bring in death rolls. They get they bring in sweet potato dice. Yeah. All that distraction. Now you see the grapes over there. You see the food that you look about. You see that half-witted salad. Yeah, I call it half-witted. You see that naked salad. I went to the funeral, y'all. I'm gonna start doing it. They gonna stop inviting me to funerals. Like y'all, I said that they gonna stop inviting me to funerals. You wanna know why? Because I'm gonna ready to start videotaping this food for this Passover, and I kind of said it in the remark. I said, this is the kind that's gonna make you pass over. It's gonna make you pass out too. I mean, the way, and I mean that for the Passover too. Yeah, because I went to one of those this year, and same thing. The meat alone was enough to make you pass over. I was like, are y'all thinking about these terms that we're using? The repass, yeah, somebody about to die again. Somebody about to pass again. We going to the repass, y'all, and here it is again: fried chicken, mucus-filled mac and cheese, constipated spaghetti and pasta and lasagna, death green beans because it got pork in it. Come on, y'all. We just come from repast, and so they turn around and they give you this little bitty little phone cup of little salad with nothing in it. And I'm looking, and so the sister came by me. She gave me the salad. I wasn't gonna be rude. She passed me the salad, and I was about to go live. I was about to go live. But the way things go in my family, I'll get another chance. Sadly to say, look, I'm about to videotape it and say, y'all look at this and look at this, and then be like, I watched the sister. She came up to me and she looked at me and she said, so would you like anything else? Would you like some ranch or would you like something else with the salad? I said, yeah, I like some tomatoes. Now, mind y'all wasn't hungry, y'all. I'm gonna keep it on. Just said, and she turned around. She like she was tired because she been slaving up in that death food kitchen, and she been slaving in that heat and taking in all that toxicity. And so I just heard her, and she turned around, she said, huh? And I said, you heard me. I peeped the spirit, y'all. She was a nice woman. So she just started laughing. And she said, for that, I'm not giving you nothing. And she cracked up laughing. I said, it's okay. I don't need nothing from here. I was like, I don't need nothing you got. I crossed my leg and I watched my brother on the side of me, and he's sitting there looking like two quarterbackers. But he wobbled on up in there. Yep, I'm talking about my brother. We talk about each other's coming up because that's how we keep ourselves humble. He called me skinny. I call him two quarterbacks. And I looked at him. I said, "You gonna eat that, boy? And you gonna sit there and add another quarterback on to you, or another linebacker on to you?" He turned around. And he looked at me. He said, "It's okay. Nope. I'm gonna eat this salad." I said, "Don't eat the bowl." And so this is we have to. This is the time that we live in, to where you gotta laugh to stop yourself from crying. You have to get to a place where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's why I like to share you. You have to get to a place to where you literally get sick and tired of being sick and tired. If y'all don't see somebody with me, it's because they don't have the energy. They don't have what it takes to be well. It's just that simple. And that's not me putting no pat on my back. It's just where I am in my life. And that's where you need to be in your life, to where only those who want to be well is willing to walk with you. Scripture says, how can two walk together except they agree? And it can look like people are agreeing with you right up until it's time for the stress factor to kick in. It can look like people walking with you. They can walk with you until it's time to walk through that fire. People will walk with you until it's time to sacrifice something. That's when you know who the real ride or live people is. I didn't say ride or die on purpose. Because we all want to see our day. We all have our day. You ain't gotta make that a saying. Ride or die. Yes, my ride or die chick. This is my ride or die one. Y'all, we gotta stop this nonsense. Y'all done heard people say it before. You gotta watch the words. There's power in your words. I tell my time, no, I'm a ride or live chick. And the truth is that I'm not a chickie. Because in order to ride and live, you got to be one that's brave. But more importantly, you need the wisdom from God in order to know which direction to go while you're riding. They had an old song that the people used to sing that used to drag me something, because me being a drummer and a songstress and into, we writing and doing these different things, it used to wear me down with how slow the song was. But we listened to the words, and I didn't like the picture of the devil and the pitchfork part that kind of got me on. But when you really listen to the words of the song, it makes sense now that now that we've gotten of age, and it's just a little bit simple one. And and some of y'all might know it, some of you probably don't. But it would go, don't let the devil ride. Oh, don't let the devil ride. Because if you let him ride, he's gonna wanna drive. Don't let him ride. Don't let him steal your joy. Oh, don't let him steal your joy. Because if you let him ride, he's gonna wanna drive. Don't let him ride. And that's how we have to get in our life, y'all. But you can't be with people that's ready to ride or die. You gotta be with people that's willing to ride or live a more healthier life. Not just a healthy lifestyle, not just a healthy environment, but that's willing to be healthy in the mind and in the spirit. That's the only way we would survive. People always often ask, and they like to compare how women outlive men all the time. And I try to share with as many of the men that have been in my life and consultation. I tell them, y'all want to know how to live longer? Stop being so risky. Stop being so risky. Listen to wisdom. Proverbs speak about wisdom all the time. I've lived a life now where I've seen people just love talking about Proverbs, but they never think about the wisdom, how to apply that wisdom to themselves. You have the Proverbs as a book that you're supposed to be able to see that in your life you have exercised the wisdom, and it starts at home. Other than that, you're just reading. And the scripture says, to be not just a hearer of the word. That means a reader too, but a doer of it. You have to do it. If you got a trail of mess that you are leaving in your life, like it's almost like a baby that's done pooped and nobody changed the pamper, and they just let them just mess all over the house. Everywhere they go, it's a trail. It's like a dog that's been eating the wrong thing. And they just, every time you look up, you seeing dog poop everywhere. That means that they're not properly taken care of internally, externally. That means that they're lacking in guidance, that they're lacking in training. That means nobody has really, truly, they haven't learned how to be trained. That baby haven't been potty trained. If they are walking into 1, 2, 3, the 3 years old still pooping around the house, and ain't nothing mentally wrong with the baby. If that dog is still not trained, that means that y'all get the picture. We can't have a messy life. That's what I'm trying to say. And you surely can't afford to do that and be in leadership. I tell my daughters and my son all the time that no, I want you all to learn from my mistake, not to clean it up. Learn from my poor choices, not to have to make no better choices for me. And I literally make a subject out of it for them. So they appreciate that. So my children can come to me with anything. And I mean, oh God, they say you gotta be careful when you allow them to just come to you with anything, God. They come. It's not that bad at all. But still, look, they're at a stage now where y'all know what's going on. I got a 19-year-old and I got a 20, going on 23. They both July babies. They'll be I'm like, the stuff that I hear that the young people are doing today. I'm like, and that's what I say. Now, do y'all see why it's important to be healthy? I tell them now. Do you see? I said, none of this. We didn't do this stuff when we was your age. I got one that has a birthday, that has a friend that has a position there with, I can't say too much, in the high position of the courts. And they know everything that's going on. And they seeing the lifestyle. And it's messing with them emotionally. And I have to tell them, look, that man, that young man is going to have to clean his mind and his spirit. He's going to have to, because you cannot be the counselor for him. Because eventually it's going to mess with your mind. But I love the fact that my daughter is at a place to where, because she's taking psychology classes, they're watching you, and she's want to go in to be a counselor. It's in her blood, obviously. And she's processing the information, but I explained to her, now you have to have an outlet. Once you take in so much toxicity and so much stinking thinking, you have to have a place to release that in the proper way. So if it's church for you, then so let it be. If it's your yoga class, so let it be. If it's your walk, so let it be. If it's you getting up, listening to some good music, so let it be. Whatever, clear your mind from the toxicity, because it will draw you to emotional eating. She's just gotten to a place where now she's back to the size that she want to be, and she's feeling herself. She's feeling all good, y'all. And I'm happy for her. But at the same time, you all, this is the mentality that we all have to have when it comes down to people challenging you about your health and wellness and the decisions that you're going to make to stand up to that doctor that's trying to constantly push stuff on you that's not healthy for you. The same thing that's going to have to take place even if you have a mate that's telling you that they want you to stay 200 pounds because they like you big like that and don't care about whether or not you're having high blood pressure and blood sugar problems and all these other issues. Come on, it's your body. You have to do it. That's not what the scripture meant when he said that your body belonged to, it's not yours and it belongs to him and his belongs to you. It didn't mean that it belongs to you in order for you to abuse it. It didn't mean that you have to become or be content with being a gluttoner because of your mate like you big and unhealthy, or your mate like you so small where you anorexic and you ain't got no energy. It doesn't mean, I'm gonna go as far as to say, y'all, it don't even mean that if you got a mate that wants you to start looking like you Sheba, like a masculine man, they want you to work out to death. Let me throw that out there. And here it is, you got ripping muscles everywhere. Something is wrong with that picture. Y'all ain't doing no marathon. Y'all ain't playing no sporting activities. What's she gonna be doing? Lifting up refrigerators with you? Y'all got a moving company or something? Now I can see that if you got a moving company and you need you a good strong woman beside your side, that's fine. But y'all don't let social media mess your whole world up, making you think that there ain't nothing sexy and healthy about that. I gotta say it like that, y'all, because I'm hearing things. Yeah, she gotta be ripped like a man. What's in you as a man that gotta have a woman ripped like a man? That is a feminine quality. There's an imbalancement there. But no, I just need her to be strong like me. Okay. We'll see how that work out. So no, we have to be balanced minded. And in order to get a balance in your mind with what makes sense and what doesn't, you have to be healthy minded. You can't do that hooked on sugar and parasites taking over the brain. With that comes spirits. I was just talking to a sister that she works in mental health. And she was telling me how she was wondering what was going on with her client that was on medication, and she was trying to explain to her. This was just a conversation I had a week ago, y'all. And she sit there, she said she's watching it. Now, mind you, her dad is a pastor. And so she sit up there saying first thing she do is she want to get up and run out of the office because the client is sitting right there before her. And she was saying, it's just her. It's something going on in my mind. And I don't know. I'm trying to explain it. And she said, as this sister is talking to her, that's explaining to her some of the antidepressants that she's on, her face started disfiguring. Yeah, I know about it. I'm a certified drug counselor, y'all. This stuff is not a joke. She literally, her face started to move. And she said it's like she was starting to morph into something else. Spirits, you all, are real. Demonic activity and forces and parasites are real. She said a woman's voice started to change. And this is a woman that doesn't play games about it. She said she was honest. She said, I was going to get up and run. And the lady said, please don't leave me here. I need help. She said she was honest. She was like, her degree did not, listen. She was honest enough to tell me her degree did not qualify her to deal with that. She said, they didn't have this in my class. I said, really? They didn't have that. I said, they don't have no second, because they're upgrading stuff now. I'm learning that, they're upgrading the editions of the psychology books and counseling books and things of that nature. I said, you mean to tell me that they didn't have that in there, that parasites can start to take, just like in the stomach, or just like if you feel something moving down your arm, it didn't show you that it can take over the face too, and that this stuff have a spirit of its own. Whenever there's seances done, that's why I don't believe in, witchcraft. I don't believe in that, practicing that at all. You have to be careful. I've had them just come straight in my face and tell me, well, I'm a witch. And I tell them, I'm a daughter of Zion. And I had a person, and I should have caught the red flags then not to work with the person. The person asked me, you think you can deal with that witch? She just said she's a witch. She told me the same thing. I said, I ain't got to deal with her. I said, she's already been dealt with. She won't be here for long. I had to go speaking in no tongues or doing nothing. I just looked. I said, no. And she did. She kept coming back and forth. Well, I this and I that. And I want you to show me this and I want you to show me that. She just kept trying to speak it to my ear. And I kept looking at her. And I looked at her and I would talk to her and I said, that's not going to work. And before I know it, she realized she couldn't get over on me. That child was ready to go elsewhere, across the country. And the person that asked me that question was in shock. I said, I told you, no, she ain't going to drive me. My spirit going to drive her. Y'all, we have to understand that the reason why they don't want you to be healthy and healthy-minded is because they know that when we're operating in our full spirit of God and melanation, when that's activated, can't no negative energy take over that positivity. It cannot subdue the power of the positive energy of the spirit of the Ruach, of the Holy Spirit. It cannot. It cannot. It's real, y'all. It cannot. You'll know because it would have to leave. It has to leave. Even when Yeshua, even when Jesus himself got upset and went and turned up stuff because they wasn't doing what they supposed to do, I'm sure they thought he was a madman. Ain't no different when mom and daddy come home. And y'all know y'all ain't clicked up. Y'all remember them days? And some of y'all experiencing it now with children. And they don't get that. Mom say, oh, nope, I told every lesson. Those of y'all that's not afraid to get whoopings or get punishment. Everybody starts scattering. They gotta leave. Oh no, it wasn't me. It was no, it was Brandon did it. No, mama, I didn't do no, daddy. All of a sudden now stuff got to get in order or somebody leaving out the back door. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up with a big family to where if they knew that they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and mom and dad them came home. I tell y'all, them came home. Now everybody started scrambling and running and stopped doing the mess that they was doing. And when the oldest one got sick and tired of being told what to do, they just left. Well, that's the same mentality that we have now. Even in our marriages, even on the jobs. We have the mentality that when we don't want to really truly get right, we get up and we leave. Because we know that there is a standard, there is a requirement for you to be in order. And what happens. In most cases, some of y'all probably did it, but thank God you're older now. And now you know, we know better now that what mom and daddy was saying was right. You need to clean up your room. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to be accountable for. Same thing on your job, the same thing in a marriage. It's no different. If you're on a health regimen, you need to be called in. You need to be accountable. You need an accountability partner. If you struggle with being out of order, this is the reason why people go off to the military. They want to get some structure. Some of them crazy enough to think that it's just about getting a military check. I'm sorry to say that. That don't make them crazy. Some of them just want some type of financial stability. Let me say that. My apologies. Because some people do it for financial reasons. Just to find out that there's somebody here getting ready to try to control their whole mind, time, everything under the sun. You're not getting around this, is what I'm trying to say. You're not getting around the order of things. Just as you can't get around taking in chocolate cake all day long. You can't get around being around toxic people all day long and it not have a mental effect on you or in your spirit. It's going to have an effect, and a negative one at that. It will have you running crazy, not knowing whether you're going left or right. Every time you look up, people saying you're doing something crazy or saying something crazy. Even in the midst of doing something good, it's still going to come off as being something that's off because you are off. When you can't get it together, if you can't get it together with somebody, and that means you can't get it together by yourself either, because God didn't create none of us to do it by ourselves. He didn't create us that way. And he surely didn't create and put us into positions that would be too much for us. He said he would not put more on you than you can bear. So that means at some point you put more on yourself if you can't bear it. That means at some point you did things that was not good for you. And now that you made a mess of things in your life, now that you're sick, now you want somebody to blame for it. That's not going to be the way to get healed either. The way you get healed, you all, is by taking the full accountability for the decisions and choices that you make about your own mental health, about your own life. And that is what will help you to grow, because you'll be looking for the answers in the areas that you have failed in. And that's the reason why I say just do it. Don't try it. Just do it. I've learned how in my life, and you all may be inspired to do the same. I've learned how in my life how to love people enough to let them go. It's not easy. Not especially when you have the answers. But just like with a drug addict, they have to want to detox. They have to want to purge. They have to have the mind to want. They have to want to let you help. They have to. And you have to be strong enough to be able to help them in the way that they need help. And no, it's not going to be a pretty sight. It's not going to be a good experience at all. It's going to be some fighting. It's going to be some fussing. It may even turn out to be some cussing. I said it. Because you're not dealing with a normal, healthy-minded person or a spirited person. You're dealing with a toxic person that is fighting and wrestling with spiritual demonic forces and parasites at the same time. And whatever trauma that they have gone through in their life that they have not gotten a good enough therapy, counseling, or healing from. I had someone ask me, "Oh, you don't feel like you're dealing with trauma?" Nope. Don't receive trauma. I dealt with that in my teenage years, in my childhood and my teenage years. I dealt with trauma in my teenage years. I dealt with trauma in my early 20s. I made sure that I stayed underneath good counseling and good therapy. That's the reason why I'm able to be here before you all today, even though my life is still shifting. I still have to go to another level. There's no way that I could counsel, coach, or do anything, any type of form of therapy, and I haven't had to receive a lot of it for myself. A lot of it. You have to. No matter how prideful spirit comes before a hearty fall. So any confidence that you all see in me now, any self-assurance that you see in me now, comes from the Holy Spirit of the Most High God, my Creator, and then it comes from all of those collective wise leaders that I've had in my life and my DNA of positiveness and not giving up and going forward that's been poured into me, that I have openly received. I receive. I do not allow myself to have friends around me that only tell me what I like. How about that? I do not allow myself to ride or to be in the presence of people that is going to constantly question, or try to say something negative about me being healthy. That only happens in family unions, and we joke about that and we move on. I would not allow myself to be with a toxic mate. I would not allow myself. I will give you a chance, and I will give you many chances, but I cannot live that way. I refuse to, because that is not the plan that God had for me. And that's not the plan he has for you. They allow scriptures to trip us up and talk about the good. Saved wife will help another one to overcome. Oh no, only when a person wants to overcome, not with another strong-minded, bullheaded, stubborn, wicked spirit. No. Only when they truly want, only when they are not drawn away from their own lust and enticement can the person that is positive and good spirit and win over the person who's not. Don't be deceived by that, you all. Some people will play on that on purpose just to be a nuisance to you, just because they know that you have patience and love. And that's called taking advantage, taking your sweetness and meekness for weakness. I've passed that stage in my life. I know when I'm dealing with demonic forces. I know when I'm dealing with bad spirit. I know when I'm dealing with trauma bombs now. Wherewith when I was younger, I didn't. And some of you all are still dealing with it too. And I promise God, before we get out here, I'm going to say a prayer for you, because that's what's in my spirit. I know that's what goes on, especially in the summertime. Folks get happy. They want to get free. They want to do a whole lot of things, and they take on a lot of unnecessary energies that will lead them in all forms of places and things, and doing things that are not good for themselves or for their family or the people that surround them and who they are responsible for. And so this is something, y'all, that we all have to get better at as a melanated group of people, because, and y'all gonna hear me say melanated, because that's where the minerals, that's where the spirit of God is residing in us at. You're not gonna constantly hear me say black. Not even Asiatic original people, not even Hebrew. You're not going to hear me say that as much, because I understand that God reigns in who he wants to. The spirit, the good spirit, right? He reigns in who he wants to, but it's most definitely relevant and prevalent in the spirit of more of our melanated people still to this day. The conscious, spiritual, open, positive, righteous mind has been proven time and time again throughout history to be mostly with us. And that us can come from different parts of the world. The four corners of the world is what they call it. Now, for the good part, y'all, I'm already, I'm going in. I try to give out. I know that was a hard clap on it. For the good part, y'all, thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me get my African drums, y'all, out there. I have to get it. We have one of our first products, Nate Unleash Your Lead, by Dr. Shelf herself. Who is Dr. Shelf? Here you go. Yeah, I think this is. I'm going to showcase my stuff like this for now. I'm not interested in putting it up online and store it. This is the moringa, the miraculous organic moringa powder, you all, that you can sprinkle. I will be doing a segment where I'm showing you how I use my moringa. I used some of it this week, and oh boy, when you talk about purifying the food, this is the reason why I'm a moringa fan. Is not because now all of a sudden everybody got moringa popping up all over the place, but because this is one of the number one herbs that I use to help bring my children's godfather out of his coma. Yes. And so I believe in it. I spoke about it before. I am taking gifts of purchasing. You can purchase these from me now for $15. $5 of it goes to the foundation that I'm building, just for the record. And so for those of you all who want to order it, yes, you can call in. You can text in to the 618-388-8100 number to say I would like however many you would like to order the organic miracle moringa that I have. And so this is just one. That's just one. We got others that's coming through. I know that this is part of the distraction as well, was to stop me and have me to give up on getting my online up and going. And so this is a 1 pounder, just so you all know. And then I'm also thinking, because Thanksgiving is coming around the corner, I'm thinking about putting in the Thanksgiving book with it as well. So depending on how many inbox me and tell me that they would like to try my moringa, which it is all organic. It is, I hate saying that FDA and all that other stuff, but my source is very good. It's natural. I have tried it myself. There's nothing that I'm going to put out here for you all to purchase that I have not tried myself. And so when you all see them cheeks, you can get to smiling, because I got the moringa that means that it's a 100% approval. I ain't got to put approval on there. Look, when I smile, that means that I've had good results. So really good, pure, beautiful results. I love coming across things that the Most High has given us that's still in its pure form, and that I can feel really a real good energy and good results from, because there's so much that I've tried, just like a lot of you all have, that you don't get no results from. And because I am a smaller frame woman, and because I am not carrying a lot of toxicity, that means my body picks up on a lot more quicker and faster than some of the average that's not. Okay. And so, and then I did meet with a scientist on just briefly for an hour on Friday. What's that? Friday, Saturday night, right after the funeral. You all thought I missed it because I had family to come in, and so they'll be able to test everything that I have, and so it will be scientific approved as well. And so not only will I go off of the manufacturer and the people that process my things, I also have my own personal scientists as well. And so this is a good thing, you all. And so we have to never worry about the quality of what I have to offer there. And somebody said, put it and say, I just started taking moringa and love it so far. Yes, Candy Sherry, it is. It is. So anybody that didn't hang in there long enough, put in there moringa for Dr. Chef Moringa. And you all can ask some questions if you want to. I'm just gonna type this in here. Whoever decide to tune in and see the chat, they'll run into it. Spread the word that I do have it. That's just one of many that's about to come. But I'm telling you what I really am more happy about than anything. I'm more thankful about the prices that I can set prices that I feel comfortable with, and that it also is going to um, serve more than just one thing. I'm gonna be sure and what funds are going towards that's really helpful for other families is what I really enjoy the most. But I put my moringa, just so you know, when did my watermelon, I'm still doing my watermelon, you all, because I got good results from it. Um, I put a tablespoon of my moringa inside of my watermelon. When I tell you that it was good, oh my God, I didn't think that anything else. I'll be honest, I didn't think that anything else could make the watermelon taste more pure. And I was expecting a little bit. I'm always looking for that taste, and so no taste at all. But how much more smoother it was and went down into me, and then I had that nice energy. The bowel movements was perfect. Everything. I mean, I was already doing good, but this took it to a whole nother level. I slept good, even better than before, even though I was dealing with some real stressful things. So I didn't even have to practice no other little routine. I noticed after I had taken it, and that's how I know that it was really, really some of the best that I've come across. Hey, remember, like, Grant, how you doing? I would love to try it. Dr. Shell, how do we get to purchase it? You get a chance to purchase the moringa through calling in or texting. You can text into the 618-388-8100. I'm putting it in now, so you can try it. Oh, and then I'm doing Cash App for now. Is how you pay for it, you all. I'm not doing the online thing, and it's for a reason. Remember that whole think about it, y'all. Harriet Tubman didn't let everybody know what all she had for her people. Y'all call in, and then that's how you all are going to know. I'm not going to be broadcasting everything that I have out here online, okay? And that's for you all. I'm not doing this for no sales marketing thing. I'm doing this because I want to have what I need, the best of quality things that I need for you all. And that's all my life, okay? So if people start saying post love, they just do the card, or no, I'm not. I've learned from that. I've seen too many of my colleagues and people have to go through with that. I'm not, no, 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 nobody's coming taking my goods. Okay, y'all? So y'all call in, y'all text in. This is how you get what I have. Is through you all texting in or calling in for your things, and then you can send it through Cash App for now. And then I do have Vimeo. I am in on Vimeo for Dr. Dr. Chef Felicia Ann is what I'm in, for Vimeo, and then you can send in a money order as well to the PO box. So when you text in to say what you want and how many of them that you want, or if you just want to try it, then I will know and I will reply back and respond back to you all within 24 hours. That's how that works. I have right now I have about 40 in stock. But as you know, one person can call in and wipe that out, but I will be getting more in next week. So no one should have to wait long periods of time. As for the shipping and handling, I will cover that for now because I don't see no reason why all of that was congregated into the donations that I would need to start a foundation and also with the price of the moringa. Yes, I could charge more given the quality of it, but that's not what my heart desired to do. And so it is $15 at this point for for this size bag. It's about the same as you all have, the same size bag that you have mama had for your sea moss, okay? And so I'm putting in the information now. You all talk to me. I'm going to put in what I can. And yes, the benefits, I will go over. What I put on the back of mine, so a lot of people don't, is that I put on all of the benefits. That's what I'm going to aim to do, because I don't like that we have all these different herbs and oils and spices and things of nature. And people don't really truly understand what all it helps in, even with the things that you may not realize that your body is consuming, and that is or wrestling with. It's increased mental clarity. It's been known for being very, very high in antioxidants. So you all know what that means. It helps to reduce inflammation. Moringa is also known for normalizing blood sugar. So if you already have a normal blood sugar, then that means that you don't have to worry about it being spiked out with it. It's anti-inflammatory. So you all know what that means. If you got any cysts, any growths, any fibroids, that means it's excellent for that as well. And if that is not an issue for you, then as long as you already pre-treating yourself with the healthy things like this, and that means you don't have to worry about that coming about anytime soon. If you want to take your moringa, if not once a day, then once a couple of times throughout the week. And then it also is known for stimulating hair growth. Y'all calling in talking about hair growth. There you go. And then also good for enhancing skin health. Yep. It does that for sure. And anti-cholesterol too. It helps with controlling the cholesterol. So some of y'all that's been on these oils that are artificial, that they're claiming to be olive oils and all this. Nah, the testings of those are not coming back to be authentic, you all. So you're still taking in any forms of oils, and you got to be careful, even for the oils within the hair. That causes a mental clog and clotting because it seeps into the pores of the scalp. And that's another conversation that we'll have for another different time. It improves vision. And I must say, wow. Usually when I'm on the computer like this, and this is the reason why I try to avoid it, and I didn't notice until now, I usually start getting a little glare that comes up in my eyes, you all. I do. I noticed today that did not happen. And I've been taking my moringa. So we're going to see how this do. And I'm going to promote that vision part, y'all, if that be the case, because that is very, very important. Now, I got another product that I'll have coming out, real natural one, that's strictly for vision, but it also, too, is going to cover other conditions, especially as we go into this whole other phase of pandemic, y'all. Everything that I'm going to give you is going to most definitely help you all. I'm not getting ready to try to sell y'all a whole bunch of different stuff when here it is. All it takes is 5 or 6 of them to get the job done. Yeah, I said it. About the most I'm going to give is somewhere between 7 to 10, somewhere, because we got a few rare cases that where you all would need certain things, but no, we're going to simmer this down. I'm going to simmer this down for y'all because I know it's a lot out there on the market now, and I'm not in competition with nobody, but I'm most definitely going to let you all know what can actually help resolve your issue or help to support whatever is ailing you without you all having to have a whole store. Now, having a whole store, that's fine. You got a big family. That's what you need. You trying to stock up. That's fine. But don't go into a craze or in a stressed out, frantic place. Like, oh, okay, no. I don't want you all in that place. I'm going to share with you all what the health benefits are of these products without you all feeling like, oh well, okay, well I didn't get the reduced inflammation, so I got to get this too. No, you don't. If you can't afford to do it, then don't do it. If you don't have any help for anybody to get, yeah, I'm saying it. Yeah, it's what people don't say when they are promoting something, but no, this is not. It's not that kind of show. This is not what this is for. I want you all to get what you need and have what you need in the time of this type of crisis that's coming back up again, but just in general. But I want you to understand all of the benefits that it has. So if you run out of one and you can't get the other right away, you have something to fall back on. That's how that's supposed to work, to where you're not stressing yourself about if, oh, I got arthritis, but I don't got my reduced inflammation. So, and don't realize that, okay, well, your moringa will help with reducing your inflammation too. That's all I'm sharing with you all. That's all I'm saying. And so it also, not done, anti-ulcers. Anyone is suffering right. See, all this is in the inflammation place. Detoxification is actually good for helping the body to detox, y'all. And I will have another form of natural supplement coming in strictly for detoxification, especially for those of y'all that are really wrestling with bowel movement issues. That is a major one because you can't truly, the body can absorb the nutrients and the minerals that it actually needs in order to help heal it or make it healthy without you all being able to eliminate properly. And that means every day. Unless you're fasting, that's the only time that the bowels will stop and lock up. But if you're not fasting, it's time to come off of that fast and you take in a full course meal, then you're supposed to be having a less than 1 minute bowel movement. It doesn't matter which size, and you're not supposed to have to wipe much at all. In most cases, if you know when you have the perfect bowel movement, it means nothing will come off of that tissue. Yeah, I said it. That's when you know that you're not constipated at all, that you've eaten the proper food, you've taken the proper herbs to produce a bowel movement to where when it's time to wipe, you don't see nothing. Yep, I said it. Y'all don't think that's real? Oh, it's real. I know. It's real. It's real. I know from my own personal experience, it's real. Just because the majority don't experience it doesn't mean that this is not what you call ultimate health. And that means too that you will not have an odor and a smell. You take in this moringa, at least the one I have, you don't have to worry about it. Will help to dissipate the odor as well. And then also it's also good for antidepressant, strengthens the immune system. That should be an automatic. Oh, it promotes. Y'all watch out now. These brothers that's tuning in, that's laying back, being quiet. Y'all can share it with the libido. Woo-woo. Look at that. They always calling in an antifungal, anti-tumor, tumor. So for anyone to have tumors, and that's the reason why I'm saying we use this for the coma to bring my God, children's godfather out of the coma, was because of how powerful it is with reducing the inflammation in the brain. Of course, you got to have time enough to be put it in. I only had put it into him once, and I only used just a little bit. And then, of course, some essential oils I had as well. And so that is what I'm going to share with you all today. I stopped in motion because I want you all to hear it, and it is caffeine free. So stop trying to get high. You can put it in your tea. You can sprinkle it in your salad. You can put it in your soup. You can sprinkle it on whatever you got, even if you're doing a red potato day. And y'all know how y'all like to dress y'all stuff up. You can sprinkle it on that because it does not have a strange taste where it will throw off your taste bud for what you're eating at all. It is literally the salad. Look at the saying, y'all. Not the salad killer. It's the salad healer. Want another saying, y'all. It's the salad healer. That's what I like to call the moringa. If your moringa that you got ain't doing that for you, then I advise you to get an upgrade. That's what I'm going to say about that. If you can't feel all that with your moringa, then you need an upgrade. I will say that. Okay, and now so we have a chef come in. I'm going to put in the rest of this information on the moringa and how you all can call in to order your moringa, and then we go from there. All right. I'm just sitting here, y'all, and I'm done, y'all. Oh, did I say my prayer? Did we pray out, y'all? Let's go. Let's say our prayer. Father, we thank you so much for blessing the people to stay tuned in. Thank you for allowing us to be a servant. And pray that something that anything that I shared with our people today was helpful with encouraging them to be well-minded, to be well in their spirit, well in their soul, and well naturally. We thank you, which is all in one. We thank you and ask that anyone that's dealing with any stressful situations that's taking place in their life right now, that they're able to think clear-minded and get to a place to where they're able to treat their bodies and their temples that you've given them in a more healthier way so that they can make better decisions. We thank you and we ask that you continue to bless us to bring forth more things that's good and healthy for our people. Continue to give me the wisdom and them the wisdom of how to deal with the day-by-day journey and tasks that come to press up against their minds to throw them off track. So we thank you, Father, right now. We ask that you continue to bless them with the rest of their day, to stay motivated and inspired to be healthy and well until we meet again on this Friday. We thank you. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. I'm just going to type in here. I'm staying here. Y'all know what I do. I'm stay over here just to about 2 o'clock, and then I had to get out of here to show this home. But y'all, we're going to go from there. So y'all can talk to me while I'm just typing in this little what y'all if y'all want to. Those of y'all ain't got to take off, run off. Because I'm able to see what y'all saying if you print something. I'm able to see, and then you can call it. Right there. Get to this place. And thank you all. The sister, we had a powerful testimony from the sister. I had to remember her name. She called in and she had a whole list of things that she was struggling with eyesight. She said her eyesight is doing better. I'm gonna have to take it. I'll go into it and then she said I could share her testimony. And I think she's gonna try to come on one of these days soon. She's gonna try to come on and share with you all how she's come along. I was so proud of her. And I didn't pressure her either to come on. I didn't, I'd like to leave it up to you all when you all want to share your testimonies. But I know that is inspiring to a lot of people to hear it. I know that it is. Come on, Sister Joyce. Yeah, it's Sister Suzette. That's where she is. That's her. Yeah, I had her back in March. And Sister Suzette, she knows who she is. I'm not going to give a first and last name to respect her privacy, even though she's given me permission. She says that I'm providing an update. She said this will be a long text. She said 6 days after, full of energy, upbeat mood, and the best elimination. And she put exclamation mark. So I just shared that early on. She is so excited. She said, Second, she said she was very ill from around April 12th to April 19th, similar to a terrible case of gastrostomies and extreme fatigue, lack of tolerance for antibody, brain fog, slight cravings for salty items, and bloating. She had a lot going on there, y'all. She said the best part of this is little to no hunger, intermittent hives decrease, and cleansed palates. So what she was doing is she was going through her withdrawal symptoms that she had after feeling like that. She said temperamental level of energy, red, plentiful elimination, notice red, and sometimes white findings. It says several days after the 14 days, she did try her Zupu, mood stabilized, slight fatigue, and she said moderate energy. So Zupu didn't give her all of what she wanted. However, she said her elimination has slowed down. She said it is sometimes uncomfortable. Decreased bloating, 8 or 9 pounds. Weight loss, though she lost 8 pounds, and this is another reason. This is a now. I'm be honest. This is one of the first people that I've heard that said she didn't get as much results from the Zupu. But I have a product that's coming out where she's gonna get a whole lot of, and that'll be out as soon as next week, if not by Friday. So because I'm working on that now, and so just like with the moringa, you all know. So if you want to wait until I get that, or if you want to order, it will be a healthy colon cleanse. Then let me know in the text, and that I'm sending in now for you all to be able to do that. Again, the number is 618-388-8100. Text that in to me what you want, because I will have the colon cleanse coming in. If you want them both in at the same package, so it'll be one shipping, then let me know. And that colon cleanse, that will be a month supply. So the colon cleanse will run about $40. A lot of people do a lot more, but that's a full price there for it. $10 of it will be going towards our donation back for the foundation to help with people with mental illness, young adults, especially with like autism and things of that nature. But let me get back to this. Said that her elimination has slowed down, better mental clarity. Because as you all know, the reason why the colon keeping that cleanse is so important is because it does once you're constipated in any shape, form, or fashion, that presses up against the blood vessels, that automatically slows down the blood flow, meaning the nutrients and the oxygen that the brain needs in order for you to think clear and see clear. So you guys understand? Nobody never put that two and two together. You have a headache, and then you wind up eliminating. You notice the headache subsides, huh? That's why. That's one of the number one signs that you have constipation is a headache. One of them. One. Not all, just one. And then back pains, aches, sharp pains. And that's another sign. Start physical therapy. She said her shoulder and arms, not a tear, just exercise and injury from past and fall, accelerated. Surgery wasn't needed for her fall on her shoulder, you all. After her going through this process, inflammation still exists, but has decreased. So I'm going to recommend her now to get her some moringa to help with the processing of the healing process that she's going through with that. And so that's going to help her out tremendously. She said, I recommended the coconut for the eyelashes. I use that too for my eyelashes, and I did notice the growth in them. And so the eyelashes, after using organic cold pressed coconut, have grown a little, but are still misdirected. Yeah, she had an issue with her eyelashes where they were practically gone, but at least they're growing out. Now she wants them to get all even. And so that's it. And she said the blue light upon awakening helps. I recommended the blue light, you all, because we're not supposed to be waking up to the bright fluorescent lights is what she's talking about. We're supposed to be waking up to either regular sunlight, meaning opening up from the window, or either to the blue light is what works for melanated people with brown eyes and black eyes, just in case you didn't know. And then you all ask where I get my information from. You want to know where I got that from? I got that from this book. I shared it with you all before. The Vitamin and Mineral from A to Z by Joel Bookham. Jewel, GEWEL POOKRUM. Nice, good wholesale information and small books. I don't do a lot of big book reading because I find now that you get the most quality of things out of the smaller books with fewer pages. It gets straight to the point and give you the information that you need. I got some big books, but I promise you, those smaller reads, I personally get a lot more vital information out of those smaller books than I do from a lot of jargon that's been placed in the other books to make it seem like it's just, and that's not to say that you can't get a lot of good information out of the bigger books. You can. But my experience has been that I don't. So I wanted to share that, y'all, with you all. So I'm gonna put in my. You all see the Cash App is when you first go in on my what you call to be able to purchase that. I'm gonna put down there what the price is, and then go from there. And then I will be offering for bulk prices. I will be giving $5 off from those who want to order 3 or more. I will be giving price off for that, which that would most definitely cover the shipping and handling. Well, it actually depends on. Let me see. And then, okay. I'm gonna put the number down in there, y'all. All right. I see a question here. Thank you, Dr. Chef. I will text my address and cash out moringa powder. Okay, thank you, Sister Sandra. You will enjoy it. Please give me feedback when you get it. Please do that. And make sure that the address is definitely clear. I will call to double check because I remember the address sometimes being an issue for some people. Making sure we have the proper zip code, things of that nature is going to be vital. I don't like making errors and mistakes. I will be sending it out this time myself, you all. So you all don't have to worry about that. You can directly get that information from me at this time without any problem. Still, I still say my computer got more smaller than the average. My other computer didn't have such small lettering. Yeah, I can't wait for the others to arrive. I've been waiting so patiently. I've been like y'all. I've been waiting patiently. Trust me, I know what it is. I have to wait. But sometimes they say good things come to those who wait. I don't mean forever. So,
And then we got updated for that was an intense look, y'all. One now. I'm trying to make sure I get that in there right. So how y'all been coming along? Talk to me. For those of y'all that's still on there, y'all can ask me some questions while I'm putting in now. I'm putting in the information for the colon cleanse. The colon cleanse that I have coming on is some of the best, y'all, that I have had. I used them for my daughter when she was young coming up. It's going to be, whew, I mean, it gives such a good bowel movement. What I loved about it is that it doesn't cause any diarrhea. And so if I had a hard time, honestly, finding some that would, yeah, have years. It took me years to try to find colon cleanse that wouldn't cause any diarrhea. And I was just talking, getting the information. I mean, I was on a hunt, y'all. When I say on a hunt, and I was willing to pay whatever I had to get it. And finally, I came across it. Um, and that was it. I sold it as well out of my office. It worked really well. It will come with, I will explain what foods best, what drinks. It's usually best taken in drinks, organic juice or distilled water is best taken that way. Make sure you consume your fluids, and so it can help sweep through the intestines a lot faster and better. You will feel fulfilled, so you can save a lot of money when you get the colon cleanse that I have coming up, because it won't have you feeling like you have to eat a lot. So that means you automatically save money while the body is detoxifying itself. And then and then it will actually help to sweep out parasites as well. That's something that we need. That's something that we need. So you all keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. This is the summertime. You want to feel as light as possible, but more importantly, you want to feel healthy as well. You want to feel healthy. I'm putting in what I can into this chat, y'all, what I can make out, what I can see here. I've been there. And I did have it to where a sister girl was going to come over to clear. I know she's trying to cleanse. It's going to be, it's going to be 40 for an colon. For the first 10 people that order their colon cleanse, I will be willing to give $5 off of that. Half of that proceeds will be going to the foundation, since that was one of the first ones that started off with my daughter to help her with not the drooling and everything. I was just so impressed by you all. I only had to take it once myself to see the results of it. I had ringy popping ears of swimming in the pool that I had, and it detoxified my body so much where I thought it was causing problem, but what it was cleansing now, because I let shampoo run into my ear. I didn't stuff up my ears in the shower and things of that nature, and that can do it too. You all give ear infections, and it just pushed off all of that for the chlorine. It pushed off all the shampoo, all of that out of my body. My ear was popping. I heard the popping in the ear. My vision cleared up. My skin cleared up. My nails just grew. I just clipped them this time around, y'all, because I had some work to do. But my nails grew out really nice and long. I said, man, all this just from colon cleanse. Now, mind you, I knew what it do, but I had to come across one that worked that well. And so, once again, y'all see the smile on my face. That means we've had really good results. When y'all see them little big dimples, that means it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's not something that I feel like I gotta sell because I know how it works. I have had it work. See, I said it's not something that you got to sell when you know how it works. You just give your testimony and just be thankful. I mean, it's no different for me than when I taste real good, clean, healthy food and it tastes good. I'm all happy go lolly like a kid in a candy store. Can I say in the organic candy store? So y'all see that look on my face? Y'all see that glow? That has to be the signature. This is Dr. Shell approved all day long. That means I have not gotten any complaints from it. That means that it's been around for a long time. And it also means that I'm just thankful that I've been able to participate in having something that will help you all along with your health and wellness journey. And so I'm actually putting the colon cleanse in there too for anybody that wants to try that. You want to purchase the colon cleanse, will be $40. It will be a month supply. Please call in. With the colon cleanse will come a free 15-minute consultation to show you how to best use it, just so you know. It will have instructions and things on that on the back, but it will come with a free 15-minute consultation session concerning the colon cleanse. So spread that word. I'm going to put that in here as well. And that's from put a 30-day supply. And I will be broadcasting this as well. I will be, I will be sending that message out as well. Usually it's going to be something free attached to, just so you know, it's going to be something free attached to anything that I promote, even with the discount, because that's just the way I like it. That's the way I like to do it. Because I don't like when we have making excuses for with, I don't, well, one, I know where the market is going. I see what they're doing. And I don't like for our people to miss over the good quality stuff for only focusing on the price and thinking about, or letting the adversary play with the mind, making you think that somebody is just trying to make money off of you, when in actuality, it's a good quality. It is worth you spending $1 or $1.50 a day to cleanse the colon to help keep you healthy and clean. Unfortunately, because of the toxicity of a lot of our food, even the food that's called healthy food is not good enough. It is feeding the parasites that's still lingering in the body. You have not been off of eating artificial food and processed foods along with toxic meat for past 7 years. Yes, I said it. The past 7 years, and you almost definitely, and that also means pharmaceutical drugs. That also means that your body is holding a lot of toxicity. Keep that in mind. We haven't even gotten to the air quality. And so for that alone, we should always be clearing our colon and making sure that our mental mind is free from anything that's causing any form of constipation, because it's more than just the bowel movement as a constipation. You have constipation within the bloodstream. So when there is toxicity in the bloodstream, then that's a form of constipation as well. And so that's something that we all have to keep in mind. So I'm putting that up in there, plus a free 15-minute consultation. Also, so that is one way also to get your, and if I don't have anyone behind you, then sometimes they can ride over depending on the situation. So just know that I'll keep that in mind for different situations, especially when it's a family that's calling in. And go from there. Put that in the number that you all can reach me by for that. And it's the same. Did I put it in? Or did it clear it out? Oh, don't act up on me. Y'all. It's not doing right for me. Did it really clear it out? It did. How? But why? I don't like that. Huh. Didn't want me to put that in there. Don't want y'all to get that free console with them. Or, okay, I'll just put it in countdown. I mean, ain't wrong for that. Fine. Yep, the colon is linked to all the health issues, you all. It's linked to the clean, clear colon. It's linked to you all's lack of energy as well, and mental clarity. The same as just as powerful as the moringa. It's the only difference is the moringa and sea moss and things are providing the minerals that the body need after you go through your colon cleanse. So they're all needed right after each other's. Y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me. You can ask questions. I can still see your questions. I mean, just so you know, I'm just saying, no, don't worry, y'all. I ain't finna do nothing. I ain't finna say nothing, y'all. Y'all know me. I just get to talking some good old stuff. It's just a 30 days supply. Put it in there. My computer is really iffy some of these days. It's a good one, but it does its own thing sometimes. I'm gonna try that one more time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, it blotted me out. Yeah, it did that on purpose. I don't know what it just did. I don't know. Yeah, that's strange. It seems like every time I put that in there, it try to block me out, y'all. Guys, that's something. It just see how it just went blank like that. That's amazing. Every time I try to put free consultation, it won't. It doesn't want me to say it, y'all. And we're gonna try it one more time. And if we don't put it in there, it's the only reason why I haven't closed it out because I noticed. Yeah, come. I don't know if it's frozen. Is it frozen, y'all? Somebody talk to me. I know I'm going over my time. Is the time froze? Somebody say something, just in case it's froze, so I'll know that it's not froze up on me. Because for some reason, every time I put that in there, it's not coming up. I need to know if it's frozen up. Y'all let me know. Hmm. I need someone to say, don't y'all all wait at one time. I need somebody to tell me that I'm on live still. Because I could just rejected my thing. I'm gonna wind up ending it, y'all, and then I just promote it later then.